Shabbat Shalom, family. Good to see you all here. Hope you're doing well. There's a story that mainstream news is not talking about, and this really should make the news in a big way. Unemployment has been skyrocketing among our people. Now, I know this firsthand because I'm with someone that got laid off back in November. And let me tell you, it's getting worse. And I know it's getting worse because I keep hearing about among our people, more and more people becoming unemployed. And this is a very common thing during times of economic trouble. Them folks will make sure they keep themselves working. But they'll all of a sudden, our people will start going through layoffs and firings and everything during the same time period. And when things start looking like it's getting better, then all of a sudden they'll just start hiring our people again. So it's a pattern they have always done during economic times. It's really, truly is nothing new. Um, this is why it's real critical for our people. If you have businesses, or if you don't, to try to always look for a side hustle, because in this economy you never know what's going to happen. I got some people on this video that I'm about to show you. Some of them have been on their jobs for a few decades and they just got let go. Seniority don't mean anything anymore in this climate. Before it did. It meant, okay, even if something happens, I'll still be able to work. And the people that got hired behind me, those are the ones that would go first. Not anymore. Not anymore. Look, I remember when Donald Trump took office, I was watching a video of a woman and she was like a year away from retiring, 1 year away. And Donald Trump fired her. She got fired. 1 year away from retirement. So it don't mean anything anymore. Some of these people that got let go, been there for 20, 30 years. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, those things used to matter once upon a time, but in this wicked ass Gentile world, in these final days, your longevity on a job no longer matters. And absolutely, it should not be that way, but it is. And they play a lot of the nepotism too. That's another reason why some of our people get let go, because they'll have a friend or family member in need and bring them in and let you go. And the sad part, y'all, in all the years I was out in the workforce, every time these people brought in family and friends, you ever notice they were lousy workers? I said, I understand why they got laid off or they didn't have a job. They don't work worth a damn. I have never seen them bring in one single person, and that person turned out to be an outstanding employee. Not once. And I'm not exaggerating, y'all. They'll bring in their brother, their sister, their cousins, their aunt, and I'm telling you, none of these people ever worked well. They always seem to be the worst workers in the entire office. I understand why they needed help finding a job, because they're lousy workers. And I have just never seen it. They never bring in the best people. They always bring in somebody that's barely adequate. So y'all, I'm going to let you listen to the video. Most of these folks are our people, and they're going to tell you what's going on out here. The unemployment rate, right, amount of for our people is 8.3%. And y'all, that is high. That is high to be among one group of people. That's high. So let me go ahead and share my screen so we can get started. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you.
The job report for November dropped this week, y'all. And just to make things short and sweet, things are not looking good for Black people. Let's talk about it. Now, for my OG followers, you already know that if you see me looking down, you know I'm looking at my notes. If you're not following me, please make sure to do so. This is a space in which pop culture, politics, and money meet. Now, let's get into the report. So 2025 has not been kind to Black workers. Currently, the unemployment rate for Black workers in the United States is 8.3%. That is almost double the national average. So let me be clear. This is the highest unemployment rate for Black workers since the Great Recession. So, what's contributing to this high unemployment rate? Well, let's talk about it. The first one being the cuts in the federal workforce. Black workers, especially Black women in government, had a very large presence. Therefore, these cuts in federal employment has disproportionately affected Black workers, especially Black women in the workplace, significantly. The second one is the growth of AI as well as corporate downsizing. Automation and corporate restructuring are significantly impacting Black workers. Third, rollbacks in hiring practices. So, because diversity and inclusion has become almost a dirty word in the workplace, it has significantly impacted Black workers. And last but not least, historically, when the economy slows down, the group of people that are hit the hardest by the slowdown are typically Black people. So, what will be the impact? The first one being the widening of the wealth gap. Now, Black people have already historically been affected by the wealth gap in this country, having the inability to save due to legalized practices of discrimination, Jim Crow, segregation, all of the things. Okay. So, when you are in a situation where they have high unemployment numbers, that sets back generations that will be unable to save, purchase houses, retire, so on and so forth. Also, job loss or the inability to find a job poses a significant economic strain on the community. That being individuals unable to pay their bills, possibly get certain medical treatments, the list goes on and on. And it also can lead to underemployment, highly educated people being forced to take jobs that pay them less. And I also want to say that if you think Black unemployment does not affect other people, you're sorely wrong. Because if people are unemployed and they're taking jobs that they are way overqualified to take, that can also be the reason why teen unemployment in this country is so high. And that's a little bit over 16%. So I'll end with this. What is being done to address the issue? The fact that a minority group in this country has almost double the national unemployment rate in this country, and the national rate is 4.6%. And if Black people are at 8.3%, that is a major problem. So, what is being done to address this problem? I want to hear from you. Get down in the comments and let me know if this information surprises you. You can write yes or no. Also, put down in the comments what you think Black people should or need to be doing to protect themselves from unemployment. And if you made it to the end of this and you don't have a comment, drop a money bag to show me that you listened to the end. If you found value in this post, please make sure to like as well as share. And don't forget to follow the Black Desk Society. This is a space in which pop culture, politics, and money meet.
Bureau of Labor and Statistics came out with the unemployment rate data that the Trump administration had been holding, and Black unemployment is at 8.3%. For reference, the average of unemployment for all racial demographics is 4.3%. For white people, and Asian people in this country, it's below 4%. But it is 8.3% for Black Americans, which is the highest that it's been since 2021, I believe. Also, want to point out that when Trump took office in January, Black unemployment was 6.2%. It has not been a full year. And I say all of this to say, and I want to tell Black people, we are being gaslit. We are being targeted, especially those of us that are high income earners. We are being systematically targeted. And the data shows that. No matter how they try to spin it, no matter how they try to make it seem like it's not as bad as it is, 8.3% unemployment is huge. And if any other racial demographic of people had unemployment rates that high, it would be national news every single day. It would. It would. But people do not care because it's Black people. 8.3% unemployment.
The November jobs report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics released this week showing some staggering numbers in unemployment. The latest data finds that despite a job opportunity increase, nearly 700,000 women are still missing from the workforce. And for Black women, the unemployment has surged to roughly 7.5%, outpacing the broader workforce and sounding an alarm for the U.S. labor market.
So today is my first day being unemployed. And I got notice I was being laid off while on parental leave. Yeah. Coincidentally, the last day of my parental leave was also the last day of my employment, which was yesterday. And while I could say a lot about how I feel, I want to focus on a much broader issue, one that I am now a part of. Since February of this year, over 300,000 Black women have been pushed out of the workforce, and that is across corporate, federal, and nonprofit sectors. Men, on the other hand, have gained more than 600,000 jobs.
So I was laid off today after 24 years. So that happened.
I got laid off from Amazon 2 weeks ago today. I received an email at 5:48 a.m. in the morning saying, unfortunately, your role has been eliminated. And it was honestly just the biggest shock and biggest wake-up call for myself.
I got laid off from my corporate job. Yep. I've been working here 3 years and,
People would say, listen, these aren't 700,000 women who are just missing or electing to leave the workforce. Most of them were fired or pushed out, right? Is that what you would say?
Absolutely. That's exactly what we've seen. So when we look at since the pandemic, 700,000 women overall are missing from the labor force. And in that same time frame, over 6 million women have actually become eligible to participate in the labor force. So reasonably, you would think that their labor force participation should increase, but that's not what we're seeing. And just since February, we've seen almost 100,000 men join the labor force. So you're really talking about not a personal choice, you're talking about structural exclusion.
So why are Black women, you think, being affected at this level? And do you think that it seems that they're being specifically targeted?
So today I woke up and, went to work, and I've been working from home for the last 5 years at this company, actually. We have had a lot of job cuts. I have been blessed enough to make it through a lot of them throughout the years based on performance and things of that nature. Or just, they've chosen to keep me or keep my team or whatever the case may be. But this time around, me and my department, majority of my department, I don't know if it's everyone, but it was a vast majority of us in that call that they decided they were going to let us go because pretty much the company's kind of going under. I have been getting asked, how do I feel? How do I feel? I feel fine. I feel fine. I guess it's just because in the back of my mind, I already knew it was something that was coming. Whether it was going to happen next year, around April when I was planning to do it myself, but I knew that this chapter of my life was coming to an end. Like
It's been 3 weeks since I've been laid off my 156K cybersecurity job, and let me tell you, I was not ready for this. I didn't post my update right away because I've honestly been very sad about it, and I'm the type of person that doesn't like change, mostly because I'm high-key a control freak, and I eventually adapt, but this one just hit different because that morning I went into work at 7 a.m. for a project call, and by 9:30 I was told to go to hell.
I was laid off yesterday to get ready with me when I have zero will to live. As if my 2025 could not get any worse. I actually lost my job yesterday. It's actually not funny at all because I had the worst week ever. And I'm officially a statistic. I don't know how much I can say. They give vibes that they would. All I know is that the job market is trash. I'm screwed. Being single, unemployed, mentally unstable. It's not on my 2025 bingo card. I obviously have to look for a job. And I think the hardest part right now is like finding a job. I'm waiting to get into a dental hygiene program, so I'm actually just in limbo. I'm just a broke college student who's trying to build a better life for themselves.
Well, that's what, I can't speak to what exactly is happening in terms of being specifically targeted. What I can tell you is that the numbers are staggering. When we look at Black women, over 600,000 have been economically sidelined. One of the things that we look at is that if you compare it to white women, Black women's labor force is about 5 times smaller than white women. If white women had been economically sidelined at the same rate as Black women, we would be talking about over 3 million white women. That's the entire labor force of Pennsylvania. I mean, this impact is massive.
That is so striking, especially when you put it, that simply in terms of the size of the workforce for white women in the state of Pennsylvania. Massachusetts Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley, she called the rising unemployment rates of Black women a canary in the coal mine, an economic indicator for everyone else. Why is that? What should anyone else glean from these numbers we're seeing?
Well, there's 2 things that are happening. One of the things that we know from the numbers is that because Black women sit at the intersection of gender and race, they tend to be the first impacted, but they really are the signal for the entire economy. And we have seen that. The other piece is that their labor force, it doesn't just impact Black women. Their forced labor force exits this year alone have cost us $9.2 billion in GDP growth. So you're talking about impacts to Social Security, Medicare, the solvency of banks, the solvency of insurers. This will impact everybody.
So we are being kicked out of our apartment. Feels like rent just goes up and pay goes down or stays the same. And I've been doing this for years, and it's just gotten so hard, and I feel like I have failed my kids, and I'm not sure where I'm going to go, but they're going to go to their grandmother's. I don't know. I guess I'm going to sleep in my car until I figure out what I'm going to do, because I don't have money for a hotel or anything like that. I spent it all on the car parts. I think I'll have maybe like $25, to my name afterwards. So that's not enough for a room. So I'm not really sure. Hopefully my car is running tonight. Maybe I could just lay the seats back in there, and I could use my blankets or something and sleep in there. Obviously I don't even know. I don't know what I'm going to do, to be honest. So there's that.
3 things I wish I would have known while being homeless. Number 1, always keep a car. If you keep a car, you technically have somewhere to stay, and you don't have to worry about sleeping on the streets. Number 2, never just go with anyone because they said that they're going to help you. As I'm too trustworthy. And number 3, I'm still trusting in God. So I'm going to continue to trust in God because He's keeping me. So just follow this journey, because this journey is different from my first journey. Definitely different.
If the unemployment rates for any other race of people got anywhere near 8%, all hell would break loose, bro. These people would start bringing guillotines out literally, because they're like, hey, white supremacy ain't supposed to affect us in this way. It's only supposed to affect the blacks that way. I think it was around like August when I made a video talking about how the unemployment rates of black people increased. And I think it was around 7% for black men and maybe 6% for black women. But like right now as a whole, we're at 8%, bro. All this shit is calculated. All this shit is planned, bro. And it's gonna continue to happen to us until all the other races of people start to really feel that shit, bro. And that's the unfortunate thing about this. Like, these people lack so much empathy and don't care until something bad happens to them. And anytime black folks speak up about it, or even if white folks speak up about it, nobody cares. And until they really feel the repercussions of their votes and realize the way that they vote actually matters, shit's not going to change. They've been doing this shit for centuries. They will constantly vote against themselves.
Black people in America, listen up. You are being erased from the workforce. You're being erased from history. You're being erased, period. 1.4 million black people unemployed, by the way. 2019, the black unemployment rate was 6.1. Mind you, the national average was like a 3 to a 4. So that's way higher than the national average. 2020, you know, because of COVID, it was 16% in the middle of 2020. And at the end of 2020, it was about 10%. 2021, when the economy started to reopen, it went down to 7%. 2022, as y'all know, the economy reopening and reopening, it was 6.2%. Kept going down. It went down to 5 the next year. And then in 2024, like the end of the year, it went up a bit. This administration is purposely and actively unemploying black people. They're purposely doing it. So when you see Trump on stage trying to give black people flowers, he's lying. He's actively contributing to your erasure. Actively. Look up the 200 words they're trying to get rid of in Head Start. Hell, they was trying to get rid of Head Start. I want the fucking Head Start. Like, that shit is crazy as hell. They're trying to get rid of racialized words in preschool. First of all, the black unemployment rate is way too high anyway. The national rate is 4.6. Why is black Americans' unemployment rate fucking 5 point anything when the national rate is 4.6? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, they're already trying to unemploy black people, right? I don't want to hear shit about white people claiming y'all don't have privilege because y'all national rate only went up during COVID. It went up to 7.2. Ours went up to 16%, then went down to 10. And then y'all's came down the next year. It went back. Yes, there is a systematic issue with race in this country, obviously, right? Obviously, they're using that systematic issue to try to make black people the fall guy, the bottom of the totem pole, so people can punch down on them, especially poor white people. They made everything black people's fault, so the poor white people can have somebody to blame. The whole time, y'all still have privilege. We know race is a social construct. It was made up, whatever. But those effects still affect black people in America. It does not matter if it was made up, because even if it was made up, the people still believe it, and that's what they were counting on.
I think they're saying now that black unemployment is at 8.3%, and these people are not talking about it. They're going to pretend like they don't hear, they don't see. 300,000 black women were fired from their jobs. Lock up their lips. Just shut up. Don't say anything. They're in the comments copy pasting the same fucking comments they got from somebody else on these fake accounts. Nobody's saying a fuck thing about that because they don't give a fuck about it for real. Like, it's fucking crazy. 8.3%. I wasn't really going to talk about this because it's personal and I don't think people truly care, but I lost my job. And while I'm okay for right now, I'm just thinking about the fact that so many black women in America have lost their jobs. I'm not looking for any sympathy or anything like that because I hated working there. I hated working for a company that supported a bunch of MAGA. And I put myself in a situation, to be honest with you. However, besides myself, other black people were let go. But what's most concerning to me is the fact that we're not taking this shit seriously enough. Like, what's happening is very serious. And I don't think we realize how serious it is. The national unemployment rate for America is at 4.6%. The unemployment for Black Americans is at 8.3%. So nearly double. It is double. Teenage unemployment is at 16%, but Black teenage unemployment is at 30%, over double. And I don't think people are truly going to understand until it actually impacts them. And it's coming. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's coming. And it's going to hit right after you spend all this money on the holidays. It's going to hit right when you least suspect it. And I don't think people are heeding to the warnings that they are being given. I pray we turn out for the midterms, because if we don't, we're signing our own death warrants.
Jobs report numbers are horrible. The Black unemployment rate is 8.3%, and the 17 to 19-year-old unemployment rate is like 18%. Can't think of a time in my life when it was this bad. I'm 24 years old. I know Uncle Stat. But beyond that, this is without half of the numbers from October. So in reality, it is way, way lower. Well, I mean, like way higher. But I do not think we will be in a good place anytime soon. People that I know haven't been able to find jobs. And these are people like with master's degrees, people that are like cemented in their careers, people that like really have it all together. It is kind of odd to see. Obviously, our government will never answer to us because they just like point the finger at somebody else and say, hey, look at that over there. But yeah, this is terrible.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Nikki. I am one of those G7 chosen one that has not had a job. I came into 2025 thinking it's going to be my best year ever, you know, and I had carryover from this pharmaceutical job, very high-end corporate job, the worst motherfucking job, a job where I actually saw a Black woman seeing me being mistreated and telling me to shut my mouth. I couldn't take it no more. And it was a high-paying job, y'all. I'm a Virgo, like live alone. I live, you know, north of Boston, which my rent ain't cheap, you know, and I did it. I did it on a prayer. I had 401k money. That's all gone, you know, and before we would be embarrassed. But first of all, that's not fucking money. That's what I earned from my divorce after all those years, right? And then I got a job in August. I felt like I was stepping back in time. I started off as an audiologist like 30 years ago. And now I'm like, you know, high-end medical devices, whatever. And I'm going back to where these people are legit. Like I'm older than them. And they're treating me like I'm the bad one. So I had to quit that one too, y'all. And I had sold my car on top of that. So as of, I think it was like mid-August, I have not had any work. I've applied. You know how it is, y'all. You know what it is when you're in the corporate world. You apply to everything and anything. I want to say I probably did like 300 applications this year. 300 fucking applications. Y'all, I even applied. You want to fucking laugh? I have a fucking master's degree from Chapel Hill back in the day. Yep, when Tim, all that, you know, when it was big, you know, basketball from 1997. I couldn't even get a fucking waitressing job at Capitol Grill. Motherfucker, stop it, at Capitol Grill. So I just have to believe that we're not meant to work a 9 to 5, guys. And it's fucking scary. It is so scary. Like I told you, I think in past videos, I was down to 36 cents in my account. I was hungry as fuck. When I say I had no more even oodles and noodles. I had a friend give me $30 because that's all she could afford. When I gave this girl, you know what I mean? Like, let me just leave that there because no one's going to be there to help you but God. Nobody is. All these people saying, oh my God, you're just such a homebody. It's not good for you. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. Because we're not meant to work 9 to 5s, but I just want us to all hold the faith. All of us G7 chosen ones, shit is going to start happening. Let go of the only thing that is keeping your blessings and my blessings, and I do it myself, is us. Because we talk ourselves out of it, right? And this dog's always chewing on something. You know what I mean? It's like manifestations, but you also have to like walk that life. And I've been manifesting honestly for 6 years, guys, 6 years. And I know it's coming, but then you still self-doubt. So I just want to give us all some encouragement because y'all, I am broke. I am broke. I did get a call for a job. Great. I applied to it right away. It's right up my alley. It's working, selling, diagnostic tool, tests for basically solid tumors, which is what I work, who knows? Who knows? At this point, it's like I can't get a job at a fucking restaurant. I can't get a job. I literally have 3 different careers that I've done in my life. Pharmaceutical sales, medical devices. I've done an audiologist, and I've also been a neurophysiologist, like working in the OR. Okay, how the fuck can I not find a job? Because it's not meant to for us guys. It's just not meant. Hang on. We are all here to support one another. It is rough up in these streets. That's why I got to have my little, because I just can't. It's just so stressful. But every day I wake up like, okay, is there anything else that I need to personally remove from my life that is toxic? I don't fucking leave my house. I don't have any friends. Like legit, the only calls that I get, and y'all, I'm gonna make you fucking laugh because that's just me. You know those payday loans you'd be trying to dig out and everything, but when you ain't got no money and your credit ain't I'm just dying because, and you can't even get those. Like, what the actual fuck? This is when you know this is all about divine intervention, guys. And I'm being so serious. And trust me, there were days I did not think in the spring that I didn't think I would wake up. I never thought I would wake up. I can take these off with the glare, and I did. Every day was a new day. Was it good days? No. Nope. It was the 2025 literally had to break us down to the bare minimum, only because we're all going to be fucking millionaires, y'all. Because we are the new generation that is going to fucking change the world with positivity, love, healing, and light, because Lord fucking knows with that fucking guy in there and whatever he said about like Rob Reiner, Brown University, like this can't be real. Like this is like not like a real time zone. We're all jumping timelines. You'll know you jump timelines when you're not feeling good, like you're really tired, stomach issues, back issues, and you can't even explain it. And then you get the blinking of the eye and you're asking God, like I get the blink in, like, is that a yes? Does that mean I'm going to win the lottery? And then the next day, but it's okay because it's all about divine timing, guys. This is so important that we all stick together. I just ran across a video where this guy said, he's like, well, since we're all homebodies, we should all just do all just get on a Zoom and just drink and do our thing. And he's eating my glasses. And I'm stuck with this motherfucker all day. Anyway, I just wanted to give you guys encouragement because I'm there. I'm there with you guys. I am there. And my rent is not cheap. Okay. I'm by myself. There is nobody coming to help me. There's nobody coming to help me because they should have helped me way back when. But as a Virgo, we ain't going to ask for help. I'd rather suffer in silence and just figure it out myself. And the way of doing that for me was just praying every day. And what the fuck did you do to my glasses? Anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm just gonna handle this motherfucker, okay?
I think I'm gonna be homeless in January. I have not worked in 7 months. I have spent all my savings. I am ripping and running, doing all of these delivery jobs. And I feel like a dog chasing my tail because I get close and then I have to replace the tires on my fucking car. So that puts me right back down because who the fuck said tires needed to be so damn expensive? I have no idea what to do. I have no clue. I have no family to call. I have nowhere to go. I'm running out of options. And I am just just I don't know.
Okay, so I just sat here and had a whole fucking mental breakdown about my life and how the hell did I just end up here. But as I was sitting here, I was thinking, I just wanted to see like how many Black women are unemployed right now. Current day, it is December 3rd, 2025. And I come across a few creators because I went down a whole rabbit hole and found out that there has been over 300,000 Black women that have lost their job in 2025. So that just also made me think, like, why Black women? Why are we being punished? And I lost my job in February, so I have been unemployed for 10 months. And this has been the longest fucking 10 months of my life. I am a certified, I'm gonna get the fuck on when it comes to a job. But I actually like this job. I loved my job. And to lose my job out of the fucking blue, it made me think, like, was I a DEI hire? But then when I started thinking about my position and how high I was ranked within management and everything, and just thinking about it, I'm just like, I had to be. Because there was no one else that was Black, that was a woman in management in my position. But as I sit here and think, it gave me chills because I was like, why are Black women being targeted? And I feel like it has something to do with the presidential race. Black women, I feel like, are being punished because we are very smart and bold. And the fact that we could have thought that we could run for president and win, we just had the audacity to even run for president. I feel like, I may be wrong, but I feel like since we were that bold to do that, the other races are saying, we are going to punish you all. So all of the Black women that were in high power, high ranked at these corporate jobs have been punished. Over 300,000 Black women have lost their jobs this year. Like, that just gave me chills. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, every day I get online and I apply to jobs that I am underqualified for. Don't get a call, a smoke signal, a message in a bottle, nothing. And I don't understand it. And today I think I got some sort of closure. Does it make me feel better? Fuck no. I'm still crying. I'm still upset. Because why us? Why is it always us? But just think about it.
Why isn't the White House addressing in the 8.3% unemployment rate among Black people?
Not addressing the 8.3% unemployment rate among Black folks. You know why? They don't give a blank about Black folks. That's why they came up with all that DI, which is bull, because half of y'all in the White House shouldn't even be in there, starting with the white national Stephen, starting with half of the with the TV producer, the TV show man that ended up in the Department of War. What kind of mess is that? He was on Fox News and now he leading no experience. Y'all the DEI hires anyway. Why come they not addressing the unemployment rate among Black folks? Why ain't they addressing the unemployment rate, the 4.6 unemployment rate among everybody because they don't care. They don't care and they ain't doing nothing.
Let me share with you some Black unemployment rates that the media is not even talking about. They're overlooking it. It's like we're invisible. Let me start out by asking you, do you remember when Donald Trump stood on the stage and asked us with a nasty attitude, what the blank did we have to lose voting for him? Well, the losses are piling up, folks, because now we can add about 1 million Black jobs to that list. So why is this such a big deal? Well, obviously, it's going to impact millions of Black families, including children. And if we back up and add some context to this, if we go back to April 2023, what we'll see is under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, we hit a historic milestone. The national unemployment rate was 3.4%. That was the lowest in American history. And for us African Americans, the Black unemployment rate dropped to 4.8%. That was the lowest recorded rate for Black people ever. Now, if we come back to today, we're not even a full year into Trump's second term, and that 3.4% for the nation is gone. The 4.8% for Black Americans is also gone, wiped away. Today, listen to this carefully. Today, the Black unemployment rate is 8.3%. When Trump took office in January, it was 6.5%. That means in less than 1 year, the Black unemployment rate has spiked by almost 2 percentage points. And for Black men, it's up to 7.6%. For Black women, 7.3%. And here's the part that should really make your blood boil. Whites and Asians, their unemployment rates have remained low and steady. And that gap is widening. So we're the only ones crashing, which means our job losses are structural and they're surgical. In other words, we're being targeted. It's not Latinos taking Black jobs. It's the anti-Black, anti-civil rights, anti-DEI policies of Project 2025. And here's the irony. We watched an increasing number of Black men reject and ridicule the Black Asian woman and put their hope in white supremacy. Now, folks, that was the worst economic miscalculation in American history. Thankfully, most Black men did not make that mistake. So again, when Trump asked, what did we have to lose? The list is getting longer and longer and longer by the month, including now almost 1 million Black jobs.
All right, y'all. This is how we're heading into 2026. This is it. You know? So if you can get a side hustle of any sort, try to do it. Or if there's a way you can generate money for yourself, try to start looking into that, because I just don't see this getting better in 2026. We can never lose sight. We're in these final days of this Gentile world. So, yeah. So if it gets bad for us, you can best believe, if it gets bad for them, you can best believe they're going to double down on our people. And so, look, I know this is real because I know several people offhand that's around me, and they once gainfully employed and now they are unemployed. My husband's last day on his job was the very end of November, so he's unemployed. So this is happening to a lot of people in this country, a lot. And it's sitting at 8.3%, which means unemployment for us did not improve under Donald Trump at all. It got worse, and it continues to get worse. And now you see why Donald Trump don't want to publish the jobless numbers, which should be published on a weekly basis. And it hasn't been because he's been interfering and blocking because he knows these numbers look bad under his administration. He knows it. Come on. And, it's sad because what can you really do? What can you do? They have done this to us over and over. It has always been this way. Whenever the country is economically struggling, we always suffer a high unemployment within our group. It happens like clockwork. But these folks will try to tell you, we talk about race too much. Well, y'all show it too much. If we talk about it too much, y'all are showing it too much. So this is where we are. And mainstream media, they're not even touching this story. So if it wasn't for us telling you this online, you would never know. If you were listening to mainstream news, you wouldn't even know this is happening. So y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude at 1:45. That's when we will begin Bible study. So I will see many of you then. Those of you that I won't see, have a wonderful afternoon. Shabbat shalom, family.